The EEOC reported last year that 28.6% of their discrimination cases involved challenges to systemic discrimination. Systemic discrimination refers to a pattern of behavior, policies, and practices within an organization's structure that perpetuate disadvantage to certain groups. Before we can prevent discrimination, we need to understand the business processes that may open an organization to discrimination claims. Advertising. Advertising is an area that often gets businesses in trouble. Being aware of cultural differences can help you avoid discrimination in your advertising. Where will the ad be circulated? What are the demographics of the area? Check the images and text in your ad and determine if there are any culturally sensitive issues. If the message you are sending is excluding some part of the demographic, it may be discrimination. Recruiting employees seems like a simple enough task, but you need to be aware that some of the wording you use to advertise for the opportunity may be discriminatory. For instance, if you state that you are looking for someone mature or specifically looking for a female, you may run into trouble. To avoid this, run your ads in multiple locations with different demographics. State that your company is an equal opportunity employer and encourage all applicants who feel they're qualified to apply. Promotions. Company promotions are often a point of resentment. Why did they promote Jim? I've more experience than he does. You may have heard this type of comment before from your employees. If you want to avoid the possibility of a discrimination allegation, you will want to publicize any opportunities for advancement throughout the organization and ensure certain groups of employees are not overlooked. Compensation and employment terms. When it comes to the compensation and terms of employment, it is well known that minorities and women make considerably less pay than white males. In a recent poll, 21% of Black adults and 16% of Hispanic adults said they had been treated unfairly in hiring, pay, or promotion because of their race or ethnicity. In that same poll, 27% of women stated that their gender made it harder for them to succeed in life. 18% of women said that they had faced gender discrimination at work, and 12% said that they earned less than a man doing the same job because of their gender. So how do you avoid this? Regularly monitor employee contracts to ensure that all employees doing equal work have the same benefits, terms, and conditions. Ensure that any discrepancies are justified by an employee's skills, knowledge, and experience. And ensure that there are no terms or conditions that create a disadvantage to certain groups in terms of salary, overtime, or other contractual benefits. Training is a benefit for employees and a means for many employees to further their career. Denying access or making access to this valuable resource difficult can open your business to allegations of discrimination. To avoid issues, ensure training and development opportunities are offered to all employees. Make training as flexible as possible to allow participation. Policies and procedures should clearly outline what behaviors are acceptable and which are not within your organization. They should apply across the board to all employees and clearly state what happens if company policies and procedures are not followed and how problem behavior will be handled, including discipline and termination. There should be discipline and grievance procedures. And the company should have policies and procedures that specifically address bullying, harassment, and discrimination. Termination can be a tricky thing. To ensure your organization is not accused of discrimination, always ensure that terminations are not based on any of the covered discriminatory factors, and instead based on capability, adherence to company policy and procedures, or adherence to applicable laws. The last topic I want to address are non-employees. Customers, clients, and vendors have their own biases. All employees should be protected from harassment, even when that harassment comes from customers, clients, or vendors. To avoid any discriminatory issues and the liability these non-employees can create by harassing your employee, you must step in and protect the employee or colleague. When it comes to harassment, the customer is not always right.